Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. I'm Paula from MoxyMojo, and it is time to get messy. So it's a good thing that I'm still recording this for Messy Makes in March. We are making the journal, or I should say, we're making the pages for my Q2 planner. This is the first year that I've made my planner like this, so I'm still in experimental mode, and rather than design full pages complete with images or whatever, I have just designed the pages that I want in my planner. And I know they're not perfect, like I've got a few mistakes here, which I know that just happened in the printing because it didn't happen the first month I did it. So I think that was because I didn't print at the highest quality. You can see it looks slightly grayer than like what that does compared. Now these are all printed on double-sided photo paper, and that's matte photo paper, so that means I can certainly do these techniques without worrying about them. And these are the techniques that Louisa Heinzel and Barbara at 49 Dragonflies have done, and I did these for my Ephemera journal, that's for 2024, and also for my Q1 planner. I'm going to do the same thing for every quarter, so there's like consistency across the year, though I may end up changing sort of what goes in these pages in the next quarter, because by then I will have had a full 6 months and hopefully worked out if there's any changes I want to make or not. This month is essentially my autumn planner, because it's autumn down here in New Zealand. Last quarter was summer, so there was all my yellows that came out. This month is autumn, so we're going to see those kind of colours. But with that, like I'm going to be using some reds and some browns, I need to be a little bit careful that I don't cover up my printing, because I've printed it so that I can see it. So I'm not sure how it's going to go. We should be right for the first month, because this is going to be like yellows and oranges, maybe a little bit of red, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But it's the next 2 months I'm a little bit worried about. But let's just jump in the deep end, shall we? Now, you've seen me do this before if you watched my previous videos on my planner. I'm not going to be doing anything too different than what I've already done. Hopefully I have ramped my glass mat up enough that the ink is not going to like want to fall off the end here, which has been my problem the last couple of attempts. But right, enough blathering. Oh, and I've got my bottle of water here. Now inks, I'm going to mainly use Distress Oxide, but because I don't have the full range of Distress Oxides, I will be throwing in some Distress inks. What colours I use may vary will vary from month to month, but it also may vary from page to page, depending upon how I like or don't like the results at all. So now, let's get started. We'll put those 3 pages aside. Now, I have got my trusty paper bags here. These are just like grocery shopping bags that I just recycle each month, or each quarter I should say. So we've got some here, some ink that was left over from the Ephemera and last quarter. So it may reactivate when I put my pages down, but they fit on there nicely. So, you know, it is what it is. If I get some ink off there, it just adds to the look. But I find this is a great way to like keep my pages separate so that I dye all of them first. So there'll be 4 pages done, then I dry the 4. I'll decide if I want to add any more ink, and if I'm happy with them, then I'll put those 4 aside and I'll start on the next month. I just find that that system works for me. I'm very much a systems and a process person. You know, I like it. I like the techniques. I like working out how things go. You know, that's me. That's my style. It's my style, man. Right, okay, anyway, before the hippie chick takes over, let's get started. So, I've got glass mat. I haven't even shaken any of these. How slack is that? So, we want orange. Right, so these, and I am going to add a little bit of brown into each of them, well, at least the first 2. So for the this month, I'm going to add tea dye, because that's kind of the most orange looking of the browns that I've got. Right, so mixing everything up, because we want to make sure that we've got both the ink and the oxides in there. And I should have done this beforehand. I'm so disorganised. We'll speed through this bit. And when you are shaking the oxides, not the distress inks, the oxides, you want to shake until you can hear that ball bearing that's in there moving freely. And I also just like to give a visual check as well. I want to make sure that whatever, and you can quite often see very distinct colour differences between the bottom and the top. Here's like here, so you can see these the oxide, these the pigment. You want to make sure that they are mixed up before you use these, and same with the like the mists and the sprays, all of that stuff. If it's an oxide, you need to give it a really good shake. Right, okay, so we've only got the 1 orange. So we're going to definitely use at least the wild honey, maybe a bit of fossilized amber thrown in, and the tea dye. So let's start with wild honey, and I don't want to use too much, so hopefully I can remember that. No, I don't think we've quite got our colour, our, what is it, glass mat in the right direct, you know, bumped up enough. Okay, right, so maybe not quite so much bright persimmon, but at least it's not too dark. Alright, that's good to know. Of course. Apologies, that was my alarm. Is this enough? Yeah, I think that will do. Okay, so I like the rusty hinge. The right persimmon is quite bright, but it's okay. And I need maybe a little bit more ink than what I had. So, right, that page, sorry, talking away. Alright, that page is now gone to the side, and we'll sit merrily on over there till it's dried. So, we're going to add the same inks on again. So that's probably a bit more ink than last time. So let's just make sure we've got our page. So the next page is not that one. I thought I was being clever, but I picked the wrong one. So this is the next one, our to do. And it always pays to just, if you're doing something like this, check where have you got. So I don't want too much on the outside. This one, yeah, too much at all. So that one's got a double-sided one. So this is probably the wrong one to have a lot of ink on. So maybe we'll do... Oh well, we'll go for it. Oh, that's quite nice. Maybe a bit much ink, but yeah, that's okay. I do like, you know, I like having all the page covered. You know, I don't mind the odd little bit, but, you know, I do prefer the whole page being covered. It just, you know. Alright. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Maybe just a little bit more down that bottom corner. Yeah, that's what we wanted. So now, what I might do is bring the first page back and top this up with some colour. I mean, because we're using the same colours, it doesn't matter at all. And what we can do is just, because we don't want to waste any of that ink, so there. Now, when you spray more ink like this, that is when you, and then you tap your hands on, that is when you find you get these really cool, funky fingerprints over it. So, that's a bit better. What about in the middle? Let's just do one more dunk right in the middle, see if we can get some extra colour on there. There we go. So we've just taken tip that corner there, yeah, and we want to do that little wee bit there. Right, so that's just given it a bit more colour, and like even though they still look white, they have now got a little bit more colour in those whiter patches. So, and you can already see like the fingerprints here. Now we've got 2 more pages left, so we'll do exactly the same thing. Right, so here we go. Oh, love the mixing there already. Hopefully that'll stay. Now we need to put some more on this. Yep, that's what we want. Some more down here. A lot more on this side. What was that growl? It was a behemoth taking over the channel if ever I heard one. Now I quite like the effect I get when I like drag my papers like this. Of course it doesn't always happen. Oops, now I'm getting ink on my arm. That looks better. Alright, so let me just get a little bit more down the bottom there. Yep. And is there anything left? Yep, that's better. So we've got all of there. Don't know what that is from. Don't know if I'm going to get any more in there or not. No, I think we're done. And I must admit, like, it is still, like, even though it's autumn here technically, it is still quite warm. So, I mean, these pages are, you know, drying pretty quickly. I saw something the other day which said, you know, put up, and I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but put up bubble wrap on your windows because it keeps out the heat but lets in the light. And I thought, well, yeah, I've known that, but it didn't occur to me to try it in my studio. And I'm trying to like go to myself like, duh, why didn't you think of it? So yeah, I think I might have to try that soon. Look at that. So now this page, I don't mind how bright it is. Oh look, we've got little fingerprints, so that'll be interesting. Because this is blank on both sides. And I just need to make sure that, now what happens if I spray some water? I haven't tried this before. That is not too bad. I like how pale it is in through there. That looks quite good actually. So let's just try that on here. And then that, and then that corner. Ooh, that looks cool. Alright. Leave that there. So I'm just going to dry them now. I don't know that they'll need that much. Hopefully it's not too dark. Okay, here we go. We'll find out. It's a lot of ink. Okay, good thing we've got a blank page to start off with. Okay, yep, quite dark. This is what I was afraid of. I need to use less ink. grass mat is still on the lean. Yep, we've just about completely hidden our monthly calendar. So what we need to do is okay, so we've got heaps of ink on the back. So I'm going to put this on here, and then because it is so wet, I'm going to put those on and see what we can pick up. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we will try. Worst case scenario, we can reprint. Right, now, normally I would add some more ink, but we're going to try and see what we can do with this, because we've got so much. And still a good lot of colour in there. Okay, so I think we need a bit more colour for the second side and to top up there. So we'll just put this aside for now. Okay, so I'm going to use this one first. Oh, so dark. Yeah. Bringing back this page. So we're going to do this second side. And that banging and crashing you can hear is our neighbours. They've sold their house, so it seems they are going through their garage or underneath their house and throwing out some rubbish. Right to the alright. Not quite sure what this one's going to look like, because this has had bits from the first. This is a bits of page. Right. Hopefully it's not going to be too dark for me to see there, but if it is, so be it. Nothing I can do now. All I can do is reprint the page. Right, now hopefully I'm not spraying ink all over myself. Right, now here we go. Now this is the second month, so we don't have our 6th week. Oh, so I don't mind that that's all dark. But how dark is this? Ooh, look at that, that's quite dark. Now, wetting the page down is actually quite cool. That gives you the colour, but without the darkness. So maybe that's what I need to do for my last month. Oh, that's going to be lusciously dark. Right. Okay, so hopefully not too dark. So I'm going to need to find some more book pages for this, because I used all that I had picked up. A good thing I've got more. Okay, so we are on to the 3rd month now, which is June, so 3rd month for the quarter. And this is the one I'm a little bit concerned about, because if I look at the month before, I mean, that's really quite dark and very difficult to read. And I've actually come to the conclusion that what I might have to do is, like on these dark pages, is do my writing with like a white pen. I mean, this one's not too bad. You can certainly see a difference between here and up here, where it's really difficult to see. This one is so dark. I mean, you can barely see Sunday down the bottom there. But I also kind of love it as well. You can really see the, I mean, how much oxide or oxidation there is in there. And then that's the back. And this one here. Now this one's got some really cool effects kind of in here and here, where you can see the lines have caused all sorts of interesting things to happen. So not sure how that happened, but I do kind of like it. Maybe a wee bit much red ink on these. But I don't care. I love it. I love the colour. And I mean, I'm not going to reprint them. I'm not going to redo them, because I think they're awesome. I love this kind of brownie patch here. I think that's going to be stunning. And yeah, I don't mind using a white pen if I have to. It's not the end of the world. Here we go, the last lot. We're going for browns. Now, I've left out my wild honey and fired brick, just in case I want to bring in sort of some of those colours. And I've also got spiced marigold, maybe. Maybe that instead of the wild honey. I've got antique linen, tea dye, vintage photo. Don't know about brush corduroy for this. It just looks kind of a bit green, but maybe that's what I need, is a bit of green. I've got walnut stain, ground espresso, and then in distressing I've got rusty hinge and old photo, again for that green, just to mix it up and make it like totally less, or less totally brown. So we need to make sure there's a lot more water this month. I'm going to use my base of antique linen. Okay, so onto the back. Oh, coming around the side. Oh, now that's quite a bit lighter than the red. Oh, liking the green. Whoops, all over my arm. Rusty hinge, yes. Oh, I love you. And look at this. That must be, I think, from the old paper. Stunning. Oh, I am in love. Oh, old paper, where have you been all my life? Right, I'm not going to do any more because I don't want to mess it up. Oh, other side is beautiful. Other side. Right, we're going to clean up this. Oh, is that the toys I can hear? I've got my studio window open that's in the room here, and all I can hear is this beautiful bird song. Oh, I love it. I love living here in terms of the bird song. In terms of the house itself, not so much. Next page. Don't mind that it's actually coming over the side there. Oh, look at that. And we've started again. Whoops, I must have bent that page a wee bit. It sounded like a trumpet. Doo-doo-doo. Not sure what it was. Oh, I love that. Okay, don't want to get that. Don't want to interrupt that. But oops, now my chair's squeaking. Look at that. That is stunning. I'm actually surprised that the bird noise is carrying on with that banging and crashing. I thought it would have scared the birds away. Good on them for standing their ground. Right, here we go. Next round. Two more pages to do. Hopefully I have got enough water. Ooh. Yes. Oh my god. I am in love with that. Ah, yes. I don't want to do too much to this page because I love it so much, but bend. Yeah, no, I'm just not going to do any more. That is just too gorgeous, as Barbara would say. Right, so let's see what happens when we put some of this over the top. I am loving the fact that I am using all of these inks. I mean, because they had been pretty much sitting on my shelf doing nothing. I mean, I wanted them there and I wanted to have them, but I wasn't using them. Now, I'm using them, which is great. Right, here we go. So, we're going to go on this one, because now this is week 6. So, we've got an extra week. Oh, look at that. That one's almost completely covered. Oh, love it. Look at that green. Oops, I just got ink all over my arm. And we're going to do one more slide through here. And ink on that arm as well. Oh, I love it. Okay, this has turned out even more amazing than I was hoping. I was really concerned that the browns, all just browns and with a little bit of green, was going to turn out too dark. But I really pumped in a lot of water, and just look at this. I mean, that looks golden. I love that. So that's the start. We've then got this where we're getting in a little bit darker. Now, sorry about that light. But, I mean, yeah, here it's quite dark. You can't really see the dates. But I don't care. I think it looks glorious. I mean, this one, this side is nice and light. You can see everything. That's what matters. I don't care about this side. Not in the slightest. So that way around. Then we have this. I mean, look at that oxidation. It's just stunning. But this, oh, I love it. Love, love, love it. And look at this. I mean, how did that get created, for goodness sake? Love the oxidation here. Oh. And then we finish on this gold. It's like caramel. Well, burnt butter. Burnt caramel. Oh, love it. Love it. And then here. Again, more of this. How does that happen? I've got no idea. And this is my 6th week. So, here we go. These are our months. So we've got 1st, 2nd, 3rd month. Oh, autumn. Oh, I cannot wait for you to start. Look at this. Oranges. Then we go reds. And then we finish with brown. Oh, cannot wait to start using this. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a little bit to have a break.